This mechanic hasn't really been officially confirmed, but based on some of the early footage we have of My Hero One's Justice 2, it's looking like we're going to have Team plus Ultra Attack, similar to what we had in the Naruto Storm series where you could have Team Ultimate Jutsus. Many years ago, a big part of the reason I would buy every single Storm game, despite not doing much in the game other than playing the story, was because I wanted to see those brand new Ultimate Jutsus in full cinematic form. And a big part of that was Team Ultimate Jutsus. And I'm so happy that this time around, it looks like we're getting that in One's Justice. So I thought I'd put together a list of potential Team plus Ultra attacks that I would like to see in the game. The first half of this list is going to be exclusively using character pairings that would be quote-unquote canon. They've teamed up together in some form or fashion throughout the history of My Hero Academia, and then the other half of this list is going to be kind of what-if pairings. So strap in and let's get through it. I do want to clarify one thing before we jump in. There might be a time where I mention more than 3 characters, or I might even mention a really large group of characters. Just because there are only 3 characters per team in One's Justice doesn't necessarily mean that they would have to restrict themselves to 3 characters in a Team plus Ultra. We have to go no further than looking at the Ultimate Ninja Storm series to see that this is a thing. The Akatsuki Ultimate Jutsu, of course, features a lot of different characters, and it could even be a way to incorporate characters who don't make it onto the main roster by including them in a plus Ultra that they could theoretically fit into. I thought now would be the perfect time to clarify that because it makes sense for my very first entry, which is Shindo or Deku, or both, with Shoto and Inasa. The Gang Orca fight is one to remember, but the combination between these 3, or 4 depending on who you're counting in this, isn't exactly cinematic. After all, Shoto Todoroki and Inasa are literally lying down on the ground when this fight happens. So instead of directly adapting this, I think you would have to give it a bit more presentation. It would be more inspired by the fight rather than a direct adaptation because you want your Team plus Ultra Attack to be very cinematic. And unfortunately, the fight with Gang Orca is not very cinematic. Well, it's a type of cinematic, it just doesn't translate well to a video game. Next up is Shoto and Momo. The 2 of these characters don't exactly do anything too exciting in their little pairing, but the pair certainly work together quite well. Not exactly high up on my theoretical priority list of Team plus Ultras, but it is a combination I would like to see. I really enjoyed this episode, and this callback to it would be really nice. Again, this would be another one of those things where they wouldn't directly use the combination they used in the show or in the manga, more of a loose adaptation of the pair doing something together. Fat Gum and Kirishima are up next. I don't want to spend too much time on this one because I don't want to spoil anything for people not caught up, but trust me, it works. Tsuyu and Tokoyami are up next. This odd duo teamed up together to fight Ectoplasm, and I'm struggling to imagine what they would actually do in a Team plus Ultra, but I like the pairing of the 2 characters, and it's kind of the only combination they really work with. Tsuyu doesn't have a lot of people she can pair up with, and Tokoyami doesn't have a lot of people he can team up with, and they both happen to team up with each other in an episode, so why not? Mr. Compress, Toga, and Twice. Now this is an awkward entry on this list because we do have some footage of the trio standing together as the camera pans around them, so it kind of looks like they've already got a Team plus Ultra, but it hasn't been confirmed. Normally we can tell if something's a Team plus Ultra based on the background because the background changes when you do a plus Ultra attack, but that's not the case for this little shot we had in a trailer. So we don't know for sure that this is a Team plus Ultra, so I'm still going to include it on this list because it is something that I would like to see. The trio of characters did team up to fight Bakugo, or not really fight Bakugo, kind of to stole Bakugo to prevent him running away during the All for One arc, and that is a very important arc to the series, so having this pairing do something together would be really nice to see. Starting off the second half of the list, Mirio, Najire, and Tamaki. You would assume that the big 3 have done something together, but in actuality, both in the anime and the manga, the team really hasn't done much together. Despite being called the big 3 and being perceived as this team, they haven't done much together. Hopefully we do get to see a sneak peek of what they could potentially do together as a team in One's Justice 2. Mina, Tsuyu, and Uraraka, or any combination of the female class 1A students. I'd like to see this because unlike the male cast, who seem to have their own social groups, like you've got Ida and Deku, and then you've got Bakugo, Kirishima, and Denki, the girls in My Hero Academia, at least on face value, all seem like pretty close friends. It would also be potentially a really nice way of incorporating a character like Invisible Girl, who will probably never be playable in any meaningful sense throughout the entire series, but she could cameo in a theoretical female-only plus Ultra attack. I would like to see Shigaraki and All For One team up. It would be a what if plus Ultra, because as far as I'm aware, they've never done anything together in the manga or in the anime, but because the two characters are so closely tied together, seeing them team up would be nice. I don't know what they would do for this, I just think it would be cool to see. Overhaul and another member of the Yakuza. Now, we don't have any additional Yakuza members announced for the game right now, but even if we don't get any, there might be a way to incorporate this. I just want to see the entirety of the Yakuza team up together in a cinematic plus Ultra, and this is probably the only way that I'm getting it, because of course the entirety of the Yakuza is not going to be playable. This last entry, I'm not exactly sure who you would have the participants be, but I just want a bunch of the pro heroes, the top pro heroes, to participate in a plus Ultra together. So obviously you need All Might, you need Endeavor, you might be able to sneak Yang Orca in there, and he should theoretically be in the top 10, and the rest of the characters don't even need to be playable. Just throw in all of the top heroes. I know Hawks has a big fan base, and maybe that's a way you could incorporate him into the game without making him playable, although I do think he has potential to be playable either as DLC or as the base roster. I'll probably talk more about DLC as we get closer to the game's launch. But there it is, my list of Team Plus Ultras. Did I miss any that you think would make a great addition to the game? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name has been Bilbzy, and I'll be sure to catch you in the next video.